of the engines on Sunday at Rockingham, it was on with the business of racing for NASCAR. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kirsten Gum, and this is Totally NASCAR on Fox Sports Net. An exciting Monday on the Winston Cup circuit after several rain delays Sunday. NASCAR officials said, hey, let's try the Duraloop 400 on Monday. And it turned out to be a good one for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Our Steve Burns joins us now from Rockingham with a look at a highly emotional weekend. Steve?
Kirsten, to say it was an emotional weekend here in Rockingham would be a gross understatement. You were here on Friday when NASCAR made the announcement that Dale Earnhardt's lap belt had failed. On Saturday, Michael Waltrip crashed in the very first practice, but his Dale Earnhardt Incorporated team rallied around him, got the backup car safely in the race. And on Sunday, of course, we got some of the race in. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got one lap in. He was involved in an accident. He was hit from behind. The car was damaged so badly, he had to go home to Mooresville. But today, the sun was out, and it was a beautiful day for Steve Park. An emotional win for him. He said Dale Earnhardt taught him how to drive this racetrack. We'll talk to Steve a little bit later on in the show. But Kirsten, great medicine for everybody in the NASCAR garage in order to help move on with our sport.
All right, thank you, Steve. The North Carolina Speedway is a little over a mile long, and with 393 laps to complete, rain delays, caution flags, for some of us, it just seemed like this race went on forever. But what a day in Rockingham on Monday. Sunny skies fell over North Carolina Speedway as the field took the green flag with 54 laps complete. Jeff Gordon, he wastes no time grabbing the lead from Stacy Compton in turn 1. Then, lap 74, and number 1, Steve Park wants the lead. He gets by Jeff Gordon in turn 2. Lap 128, and the first round of green flag pit stops. Ron Hornaday and Jeff Gordon, they bump coming onto pit road. Steve Park gets 4 fresh tires and gas. He keeps the lead after green flag pit stop. Lap 162, and Jeff Gordon wants the lead back. He passes Steve Park on the inside off turn 2. Lap 180, and reigning Winston Cup champion Bobby Labonte catches Jeff Gordon in turn 3 and takes his turn at the front of the field. Lap 243, and Mike Skinner brings out the first caution of the day. He spins the low Chevrolet in turns 1 and 2, bringing out that yellow flag. Jeff Gordon beat the field off pit road during the caution and led the restart on lap 250. Lap 302, and Stacy Compton brings out the second caution of the day on 4th overall, blowing the engine in his Kodiak Dodge Intrepid in turn 1. Steve Park leads the restart on lap 308, but Jeff Gordon, he wastes no time making his move to the front. He goes to the inside of Park and retakes the lead with 85 laps to go. Steve Park was good on long green flag runs all day long, and on lap 338, he catches the Wonder Boy again in turn 4, goes to the inside and retakes the lead with 54 laps to go. With 15 laps to go, Joe Gibbs watches his driver, Bobby Labonte, catch Jeff Gordon in traffic, passing him for second and setting his sights on leader Steve Park. That sets up a last lap shootout as Labonte catches Park coming into the white flag.
Labonte gets loose. 1 lap to go. This is it. Park wiggled and got into Labonte. He's going to make a run on the outside right here. Come on, buddy. Steve Park trying for his second Winston Cup win. Got to run. He's got to run down the inside. Park blocks him a little bit. Couldn't block him. All right, Bobby's off early. He's off early. He's going to gas it hard. Here they're going to come to the line. It's going to be a photo finish. Park has the run off the high side. He clears the body, and Steve Park scores the second straight win for Earnhardt Incorporated and the second win of his career.
And for Steve Park, the emotional win is the second of his Winston Cup career. Dale Earnhardt discovered Park while watching a modified race from Watkins Glen, the site of Park's first Winston Cup victory last summer. Now, just 1 week after his mentor's death, Park is in a victory lane that Earnhardt visited 3 times in his career, and he's with our Steve Burns.
Steve Park, I could not think of a more dramatic, a more emotional victory after what the entire NASCAR community has been through. Describe what this means to you.
Well, really, to start off, it's bittersweet. And like Michael said last week, you know, you're waiting for Dale to jump up in here and to grab you and around the neck and give you a big hug and give you that grin that, you know, he always does. And So it's as happy as we are for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated and what they've been able to do. You know, we're still saddened with the loss of Dale Earnhardt, but we know that with the sun shining, he's looking down on us right now. And I know he was with me those last 2 laps, and that wasn't my style. But I knew with the white flag, I had to do everything I could do to try to win the race, and I was standing on the seat and bending that steering wheel like he would do.
Steve, I talked to guys with the 3 team, the 15. They did a dramatic, great job getting Michael in shape to qualify even. How did you guys stay focused with all that went on, the memorial service and all the attention focused on this team?
It's just been the longest week of our careers probably in our lives. It's so hard to stay focused, and I haven't done so little and have felt so drained emotionally in such a long time. And it was like losing a family member. Dale and Teresa, they've treated me like family ever since they've given me the opportunity to come down here and race in the Busch Series, and they've stuck by me through thick and thin, and we've been able to reward DEI with 2 wins now. So as bitter as it might be that Dale's not here to enjoy this with us, we know the good Lord is shining down with him, and he's got that grin he always has, and he's just proud of this whole thing that he's been able to put together.
Congratulations, Steve. Steve Park may certainly go on to win more races, but maybe none more dramatic than today.
All right, once again, thank you, Steve. Bobby Labonte, defending champion of Monday's race, led 32 laps and picked up the runner-up finish. Jeff Gordon led the most laps on the day, 171, and traded the top spot with Park until the last long green flag run. And how about Ricky Craven? After years without a full-time ride, he picks up the top 5 finish.
I don't know if I can describe it. It's been definitely a really rough week. Brings back a lot of emotions for me personally, but you know, this is definitely unbelievable. This is a great feeling. It's exactly what the team needed, exactly what DEI needed. I think it's been a really good week as far as at the track performance, and we've had good qualifying effort, good practice sessions, and of course it was a really good race. You know, we didn't have any problems throughout the race. Got a little loose off one time during the race, but this is unbelievable. This is exactly what the doctor ordered.
I thought at the beginning of the race he was going to be, you know, a hot rod all day, and he was. So congratulations to those guys. It was a great run for them, and, you know, they needed that. But sure like they got him there again, but gave up a little short.
I was really strong on fresh tires, and I could go about, you know, 25, 30 laps really, really good. And our pit crew was just awesome in the pits. So I would love to have seen a caution for sure.
I'm glad we didn't have any more cautions than we had. I mean, I'm sore right now. It was a good day. I mean, the guys in the pit crew did a great job all day, kept us up front. You know, we dropped back early. The car got pretty loose, but, you know, we just hung with it, and Greg and I kept communicating real well. I think we got some good things to look forward to this year. We had a really good day.
So glad that my path crossed with Cal Wells sometime around Christmas, you know. Perfect Christmas gift, because I got hooked up with Mike Beam and Roy McCauley and Darrell Doug, and all these guys, Don and Hawk helping me get back on track, and I'm just thankful.
All right, Johnny Benson rebounds from his engine problems at Daytona with a 6th place finish. Rusty Wallace, who struggled all weekend with the car, came out of nowhere for a strong 7th place run, while Sterling Marlin and Dave Blaney led the Dodge contingent in 8th and 9th place.
We was real good early, and we just got too tight. We never could get the car freed up. We thought we got a mismatched set of tires on, and didn't want to adjust it too much, and you just never could get the car freed up, and ran our brakes about the last 30 laps. But we're glad to see one of Dale's cars wins. We couldn't win, and yeah, they got a good team going, and we can be tough to beat this year.
Our car was pretty good. We got to a certain point, and we didn't get it any better. And I don't know, we didn't keep up with the racetrack or what. We kept changing, but it didn't get any better. But anytime we can get a top 10, we're going to be happy and just try to build on it.
It's nice to get it over with and finally get everything that I've been dreading for a week over with. And I think biting the circumstances, it was pretty good, and we learned a lot today. So we'll take it and go on with it.
I couldn't communicate with my crew and tell them what I needed. We had a bad pit stop, but I made a bad call from the seat. Hurt us more than the pit stop did. Just should have zigged with the adjustment, and I zagged. So we'll just have to learn from this. We had a great car in the long haul, and that makes me proud.
Certainly, Steve Park's winning speaks a lot to the character of Dale Earnhardt, and congratulate Teresa and everybody at DEI for having an organization that can win races every weekend. And I think that speaks to the depth of Dale Earnhardt, that he contributed a great deal to this sport in his 26-year career, and he's going to continue to contribute going forward. It's pretty obvious after today.
Number 21, Elliott Sadler grabs 11th place, followed by Robert Presley in the number 77 car and Bobby Hamilton. Next, number 29, Kevin Harvick, who finished second in the Busch race on Saturday. He is also the newest teammate driving for Richard Childress. Right behind him, number 25, Jerry Nadeau. Number 22, Ward Burton takes 16th place, one of his favorite tracks. Right behind him, Joe Nemechek and rookie Casey Atwood in the number 19 car. This year's Daytona 500 champ Michael Waltrip finishes 19th at Rockingham, and Mark Martin slides in at 20th position. Well, as Steve alluded to at the top of the show, it was a very emotional weekend for the Earnhardt family. Dale Jr. decided to race this weekend, only to be knocked out before finishing the first green flag lap in Rockingham. A damp track made for some tentative racing on Sunday, and Earnhardt was hit from behind and found the wall in turn 3. After looking the car over, Little E's team decided, hey, the damage was too much and loaded the car up for home.
Just tight. Go racing, get down into 3. The 4 car pulled down in front of me, and everybody checked up, and I was checking up, and somebody didn't. So it's tough. You know, we really had a good car, wanted to do good here, get the year started off right.
And here's how the drivers for DEI and Richard Childress did at the Rock. Number 1, Steve Park took the checkered flag, of course. And number 29, Kevin Harvick, who took Dale Earnhardt's seat for RCR, finished 14th. Number 15, Michael Waltrip, who won the Daytona 500 last weekend, ended up finishing 19th. When Totally NASCAR returns, the Fox race crew looks back on an emotional victory for Steve Park and Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by the U.S. Marines. The few, the proud, the Marines.
And welcome back to Totally NASCAR as we continue to look at today's finish in Rockingham. Number 36, Ken Schrader, comes in 22nd after last weekend's crash with Dale Earnhardt. He's followed by Bill Elliott and 31, Mike Skinner, who had trouble with his car during the race. Ron Hornaday Jr. escaped the incident with Dale Jr. and pit road contact with Jeff Gordon to finish 25th. Well, it took 2 days to finish, but our experts here at Fox feel the race at Rockingham is really what we can expect all season. A lot of lead changes, some good fights to the finish, and with harder tires, you see drivers choosing all sorts of lines. For more on today's emotional race, here's Mike Joy.
Well, what a wild race at Rockingham with drivers taking different lines all over the racetrack all day long. It looked like Jeff Gordon was good on the short run. Steve Park was better on the long ones.
Well, I believe the deal, they got the harder tire. When we have harder tires, it creates so many lines of racing. Somebody can get their car working good on the bottom, somebody can get it good working on the top, and I think that's what we've been needing for quite some time now. That follow the leader right around the white line was getting kind of boring. We don't have any boring races anymore. We're going to see this all year long. We're going to see great racing everywhere we go, including next week at Vegas.
Larry, makes great racing for the fans, but is this new hard tire a nightmare for crew chiefs?
Well, it definitely changes the setups, and I think we saw cars that maybe have struggled here before run good, cars that has run good before. Rusty Wallace, in particular, finally got a little bit of a handle on it, but struggled for the most part. But gosh, 40 cars running at the end of this thing after 393 laps.
And a very competitive race. Let's go to Dick Bergeron.
Well, this was surely one of the most dramatic and emotional victory lanes in NASCAR history. Earnhardt might not have appreciated the emotion, but he surely would have appreciated this race. Wheel to wheel, door to door, and the race decided on the final lap with one of his drivers winning. This begins the healing process. To Matt Yoakum.
Dick, after finishing 40th at Daytona, Bobby Labonte needed a good run this weekend in Rockingham, and he got it, a second-place finish. But the guy now who needs to have a good run next week at Las Vegas is Jeff Burton. He finished 37th in Rockingham, but he couldn't pick a better place in Vegas. He has swept the last 2 Winston Cup races. Last year, won both the Winston Cup and Busch race. He needs another bounce in the points. Jeff?
Well, the guys in the booth talk about the feel of a driver being able to adapt to these new tires in the racetrack. Well, today, the guy who had the feel, in my opinion, was Ricky Craven. Coming from way back, everybody's always been questioning whether Ricky can get the job done. Well, today, coming home 5th and giving Cal Wells his best finish ever in NASCAR events. I tell you right now, my hat's off to him. Back to you guys in the booth.
He had a great run, and so this weekend, we moved to Las Vegas, and instead of last year's gumballs, Darrell, it'll be 4 hardballs on that car, the same tire we ran here.
Yeah, it will be. And one thing I want to say is Dale Earnhardt appreciated guys that worked hard. He was a hard-working man himself. We saw these teams here this weekend, Steve's, Mike's, and Dale Jr.'s all worked very hard to give Dale another victory. And like I say, I know that today we got the sunshine that these guys wanted on their shoulders.
And Larry, a good run for the Childress team with Kevin Harvick.
Exactly. Finished 14th. Stayed on the lead lap for most of the race. First Winston Cup start. Finished second here in the Busch race on Saturday, leading the Busch Grand National points. Good start for him. I know it wasn't the way he wanted to start it, but it is a good start for him and that team to start moving forward.
Very encouraging, and I'm very encouraged by the quality of racing we saw and how close this race was, not just for the win, but all the way back through the cars on the lead lap. It gives us great hope as we head for Las Vegas this weekend. Let's go back to the studio in Charlotte.
Thank you, Mike Joy, Larry Mack, DW, and crew. If you missed the race on Monday morning, well, don't worry. You can see it in its entirety this evening on Fox Sports Net. It's Winston Cup racing at Rockingham, and it starts at 8 o'clock here on the net. When Totally NASCAR returns here on Fox Sports Net, we take a look at the Busch Series results after Saturday's race. But first, more Winston Cup results from the Duraloop 400 in Rockingham.
If you've ever wondered what it's like to actually drive a Winston Cup race car, I got good news for you. Hi, I'm Richard Pitt. At my schools, you'll drive a real Winston Cup style stock car at one of the best racetracks in America. Our expert staff and professional drivers will acquaint you with the track, the safety gear, and the car. Then you'll take your turn behind the wheel, run some laps, and then receive personal feedback when you get back in the pits. For more information, call 1-800-BE-PETTY.
I'd say that the team has been a real godsend for me. I'm in a high-stress profession. When I get home, television's my salvation. TiVo let me create my own TV network, so I can watch what I want when I want to. It's my way to forget about the day.
What do you like to watch?
Mainly cop shows.
Get a close on this guy. He's going away for a long time.
Play the Pep Boys 80th anniversary instant win game and win $80? No, $800. Oh, the heck. $80,000. One of over 50,000 instant prizes at Pep Boys. Pick up your game piece today.
Whether you drive a car, truck, van, or SUV, Pep Boys has your tires. Like 35,000-mile tires, 4 for only $99. And 55,000-mile Futuras, 4 for $159. Pep Boys, cars like us, people love us.
Blue Torch TV. What turns you on? Exotic locations. Action sports. Weekdays at 4.
Postseason position is on the line on Fox Sports Net. Cal battles surging UCLA. Then #1 Stanford meets USC. Pac-10 basketball on Fox Sports Net and Fox Sports Net 2.
If you only go to the races one day a year, this Saturday should be that day. Why? Because this Saturday's the $1 million Santa Anita Handicap. If you win this one, you make history. Ever heard of Seabiscuit, Spectacular Bid, John Henry? They've all won this race. And if that's not enough, fans will get this stylish cooler bag absolutely free. You can use it to carry home all your winnings. Santa Anita, there's nothing more exciting. Want to bet? The Santa Anita Handicap and a free money bag. I mean, cooler bag this Saturday.
We've got more results from the Duraloop 400 race. Coming in at 31st place, Hut Strickland driving for legendary owner Junie Dunleavy. He's followed by Rick Mast in the number 50 car and rookie Jason Leffler. Buckshot Jones driving the number 44 Petty Racing Dodge finished 35th. The NASCAR Busch Series hit the track on Saturday, and it was a 10-year veteran of the series who took the win. Todd Bodine earned his second career win at the Rock. He also took the checkered flag at Rockingham in the fall of 1995. Bodine dominated, leading 145 of the race's 197 laps. Kevin Harvick took second place, losing the lead to Bodine on a late restart.
I knew we had a good enough car. If I just kept it on the bottom of the racetrack, they weren't going to get around me. And if I just kept it on the bottom of the racetrack, I was going to get good runs up off the corner, and I could pull away. And we had some breaks. We had really good pit stops, but we had a couple breaks there at the end. And good traffic, and here we were in victory lane.
My fault for wrecking in happy hour, not getting the practice we needed to, give the thing the run it needed. But really excited. A lot of credit to Mark Martin and Jeff Burton. Those guys have definitely helped me jumpstart my Busch program. and I'm excited where we're at today.
We had a good day. We're running top 5 all day and just a little too tight. But, hey, you know, 8th and a 4th and part-time Busch driver, we're having a good time.
All day long. You can tell I didn't even break a sweat. That's how good it was. And so thanks to Winnebago and everybody that's helping me out this year. And it's somewhere to start, so we can go try to get finished top 10 of these points and win championship.
We was a little bit off today, but we still had a car that challenged for the lead, and that's what I'm happy about. Didn't get the outcome that we wanted, but there's 30 more to go, so we're looking forward to that.
Totally NASCAR will be back in a moment, but meanwhile, check out the rest of the results from Monday's Winston Cup race at Rockingham. Stay with us.
Get some help. Call Labor Ready at 1-800-24-LABOR or go to laborready.com. Labor Ready. We do dishes.
Toyota's President's Day celebration is on. Get 5.9% financing for 60 months on any new full-size 2001 Tundra.
This is my kind of truck.
The powerful Tundra is a Consumer's Digest Best Buy for 2 years in a row.
Beautiful.
Or get $1,500 cash back on all remaining 2000 4Runners.
We gotta get this.
But hurry, 5.9 financing on Tundra and $1,500 cash back on 4Runner ends February 28th.
And do not worry, you can see it in its entirety this evening on FX. It's Winston Cup racing at Rockingham, and it starts at 8 o'clock on FX. It's another full weekend of racing across the Fox networks, beginning Friday here on Fox Sports Net. Winston Cup qualifying takes the green at Las Vegas this Friday evening. On Saturday, it's Winston Cup Happy Hour on FX, followed by the Busch Series. On Sunday, start your race day with NASCAR This Morning on Fox Sports Net, followed by Winston Cup Racing on Fox. Then it is back to the net for the complete wrap-up on NASCAR Victory Lane with John Roberts and his panel of experts. We've got Vegas covered only on Fox. And don't forget, you can join us each weeknight at 6 right here on Fox Sports Net for all your NASCAR news and highlights, and then just a little bit more. Well, that's going to do it for us. Join us tomorrow when we'll break down Monday's emotional race at The Rock. You're watching Totally NASCAR on Fox Sports Net. Have a great night, everybody.